Hey, so last night I made a video, and basically in the video I just was trying to let everybody kind of know, mostly my friends that are, I guess know me pretty well or haven't really heard from me or seen me in a while. Primarily
Email,
to,
Eubergen, verse of the day, image, Proverbs 18:10.
sorry, my phone talks, so it might do that every once in a while. Being visually impaired, my phone always has something to say. And so I have it set to these, blind settings. And it's horrible, especially if I'm in public or somewhere because then people, they can hear all my business. I go on Facebook and say, and it'll be like, so, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I didn't want everyone in McDonald's to know that. Thank you very much, cell phone. But, it just, it's very inconvenient. I try to keep headphones connected to it, but there are times when, it does try to embarrass me. I was really struggling, man, just so hard with life and everything, and my own failures, or at least what I perceived to be failures in my mind, I've heard this saying oftentimes when it comes to suicide, and the saying is that, suicide is a permanent solution, to a temporary problem. But the temporary solution of a permanent problem is the way that a person who's gonna or wants to end their life thinks of it. They don't see it the first way, they see it the latter way. And they see it the latter way so strong because the permanent problem has been going on for so long that it doesn't seem like there's a solution. And so it's easy in the aftermath of it, I think, for us to say, this is the afterthought. What they were going through was just temporary, and they dished out a permanent solution. And that just sounds very psychological and very, very astute. But in the mind of a person who's dealing with depression, with anxiety, with disability, with overcoming fears and failures, and so many years of rejection and hurt and loneliness and bitterness and all of these things, it's more a permanent problem with a very temporary solution. And I want you to know that it's just not true. It's not true. I have found in my life, in all honesty, the longer I live, that it doesn't matter what everybody around me believes. Because people believe the best of me. I've got support and church members and a wife and beautiful, amazing stepdaughters. Oh, they're so amazing and wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful grandbabies. I love them. I hug them. I love them with my whole heart. Now, if you've looked at my Facebook, you've noticed that my wife is black. And in turn, my 3 stepdaughters are black. And also, my 4 grandbabies are black. And I can remember one time being in Kohl's, the store. And as I'm in Kohl's, I said to my wife, I have to go and use the restroom. And she said, okay. And at the time, my vision was a little better than it is now. So I understood that the bathrooms were just a little bit down around the clothing area of Kohl's where we were. So as I went down and I went and entered into the bathroom area, um, you know, did my thing. And then I came back out. And when I came out, my wife and our granddaughter, Anaya, they were not there. And Kohl's is a big store. Now, to be visually impaired and to just decide to walk off into Kohl's to try to find my wife and my granddaughter, this was like literally right after Christmas in December. So I decided that I'm not going to go walk all over Kohl's. I'm just going to sit on there was like a bench at the end of the little area, and I'm just going to wait and see if they'll filter back around. So I waited and waited and waited. 10 minutes went by, 15 minutes went by. And I began to realize maybe they're not, maybe they left me, Maybe they're not going to come back. So then I got up and I followed the path around with my blind cane. And I began to make my way adjacent to the front cash registers of the store. Now there's hustling and bustling and there's people everywhere. And from clear across Kohl's, I hear my granddaughter Anaya, and she screams out, "There he is! Grandpa Jay!" And she starts running, "Grandpa, Grandpa!" And she's screaming my name and she's running across Kohl's, and people are looking. And of course, they see this little black girl, my beautiful Nai, running across Kohl's. And I suppose that they're looking for an elderly, black man. And they don't see one, And as she runs right up to me and leaps into my arms. "We miss you. Oh, I'm so glad we found you," she says. And and I thought, so hilarious. I said, "I love you and I miss you too, Nina." I said, "How's the shopping?" But everyone around was like, "What in the world? What is going on?" My life is a comedy sometimes. People say it to me all the time. In fact, from the time that I was very young, people have said, "You should be a comedian. You should be a comedian." And this is the vein, my friends, that I kind of want to talk to. When I went to the mental institution back in June of this year, when I was heavily contemplating, one of my primary Achilles heels is my humor. Because I masked all of my inward emotion and how I felt with trying to be funny. And I found myself using humor, and it was scary. It got to the point where I had to be so real with myself. I called the police on myself. I turned myself in. It was not easy. Police officers came to my house. Of course, they frisked me in the parking lot. They basically arrested me, really. They put me in a sort of like an ambulance thing. It was more like not an ambulance, it was more like a psychiatric thing.
Showbiz cheat sheet. The Russo brothers explain what it'd take for them to direct another Marvel movie after Avengers Endgame.
Thank you, phone. We needed to hear that in the middle of everything. The Russo brothers, they're going to direct another Marvel movie, just in case you missed that. They took me to the hospital. They put me in a green gown, which means that I am psychotic and nuts. They violated my body with catheters and blood and urine samples. Then they shipped me off to the mental institution, where they stripped me down, took everything away from me, cell phone, dignity, life, everything. I thought if I was depressed before, this is not helping. And I spent the next 2 weeks just being on lockdown. And it was an eye-opening, as I said, funny pun style for me experience, because I was the first and only blind person they've ever had in the mental institution. They didn't know what to do with me. They took away my blind cane because they said it was a weapon and I might try to hurt people with it. They kept me on lockdown all day long. And it was just very, 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 really cathartic. When I came out of there, I then spent the next 8 weeks in an outpatient program with other people who are dealing with the same things. And week after week, I got to meet with this group and I got to talk about my problems. And I got to get it off my chest. So I just want to encourage you, man. Girl, brother, sister. If you're dealing with it, man, if you're thinking about ending your life, if you're thinking you just want to let go, don't do it. Don't do it. Get help. There really are amazing people who, if you submit yourself to their counsel and you walk through a little bit of humility, you can come out on the other side. And you can come out stronger. You can come out better. You can come out hopeful. There are medications that do work. I found out they do work. Now, they take time. It took a good 2 or 3, maybe even 4 weeks for the meds to work. But they did work, and they do. And I'm thankful that I had presence of mind enough to make the right decision. So I'm urging you, and I'm compelling you that I'm going to start a series of these types of videos for whoever would like to tune in and just listen. And I'm calling it Unseen Faith with Justin, or Jay. Most people call me Jay. Unseen Faith with Jay. So if you'd like to listen, you can. If not, it's cool. If you know somebody that you think might be struggling and they just need to hear some encouragement, they just need to hear that they're loved, that they're appreciated, they just need to hear that it is possible, that there really is a light at the end, and that there really is a way to overcome, then by all means, man, share this with them. Share it with the ones that you love. I don't care, man. Bootleg the crap out of me. I don't care. You can bootleg it all day. It don't matter to me. Like I said, my name is Justin. Grew up in Boulder City. I posted my last one to the Boulder City alumni group. I grew up there, graduated from school there, and probably got some friends on Facebook from there. At least were my friends when I was growing up. And I will just keep sharing what I know and trying to help people out. Not beating people over the head with any type of religious belief or anything like that. Just straight, one guy to a world of people that need to know that your life is not over, man. It's not over. You can accomplish and do anything in this life, and you are worth it. You're worth it. You're so worth it. I'm telling you, you're worth it. Trust me, I know. We're all worth it. Alright? Thanks, you guys. And just be blessed. Have a great rest of today. Hump day. Alright. Now listen to the thing tell you while I'm turning it off.
Stop recording button.
See?